Welcome in this online session. Myself, Pandharinath Marade. I am from Mahim Mori Road Municipal English School. Our administrative officer is Mrs. Snehalata Dumbre. Our nodal officer is Mr.Sharad Kurade. Our nodal HM is Mrs. Mary Paul Pushpam. Mary Pushpam Paul. Assistant nodal HM is Mrs. Maniprit Kaur Anand. And our CNO is Mr. Ratilal Burungule sir. Student, today we are starting our session with the good thought. See the thought of the day. Intelligence plus character, that is the true goal of education. Intelligence plus character, that is the true goal of education. It is said by Martin Luther King. See the meaning of that thought. Intelligence plus character. See, in school or in our life, education is teaching the whole person, not just the intelligence side, intellectual side, but also the social and emotional side. While living in day-to-day life, only intelligence is not enough. But along with intelligence, we need the good character, because intelligence, it reaches us at certain high level, but if the character is not good in the society, we are not getting a good importance. There is a no value. That means our life will be valueless. That is why intelligence plus character, that means both the things are important. So do you understand, student, the meaning of that thought?
Yes.
Very good. Now we are going towards our lesson, but before starting our lesson, I would like to revise one thing. In the previous unit, that is in beginning of the settled life, we learn how the ancient man, he started their domestication of the animal, and how we settle, how we started agriculture, how you use various skill and various occupations, how he was stay in community life, and how he started it, how we build the houses. All these things we had learned in the previous unit. Now in front of you on the screen, some of the pictures are there. See, the different metals are there. Just observe all this picture and just tell me the name of these metals. Can you tell me the name of that metals?
Yes,
In the
sir.
first picture, yes, tell me.
Yes.
First picture,
Iron. Iron.
iron, very good. In second picture,
Silver. Iron, silver, gold. Gold. Iron,
yes,
silver, gold.
or as like silver, it is same, different metal is aluminum is also like that. Okay, okay, so iron, aluminum, and gold.
Gold.
All these are the metals which are easily available in market. People are using this metal nowadays for different purposes. We use these metals like iron for building construction and for different purposes. Aluminum also used for sliding and different purposes. Nowadays gold are used for making ornaments. Is it right? Okay, but I have some question. How these metals came into use? When did it use in first time? Three questions are there. Let us see which metal were used in first time. All these metals are available easily in the market now, but how these metals came into use, that the part we are going to learn today. How and when these metals came into use. Let us see. In the Middle Stone Age, while thinking about ancient time or the Middle Stone Age, some of the metals were came into use. Just see the pictures in front of you. Which are the pictures? Are these? Can you tell me?
Yes, sir.
Just observe it. Yes.
Copper and baby bottles.
Yes, these are the some of the tools which were made by the ancient man, that is the middle stone age man, and then the some of the ancient mans who made this for their livelihood. So the tools which were made up from the copper, and in the second picture some of the baby bottles are seen. Okay, now see how the use of copper was started. Let us see the ancient man who is doing something with some of metals. In the second picture, there is the copper. Okay, so these metals were came into use first. That is after Middle Stone Age, when the copper metal found, he started using this. Let us see the another side. See, while thinking about all these coppers, how it is, we come to know that these were the metals where first came into use, because in the world some of the museums are there, like one of the museum is situated in Europe. Okay, so this museum is situated in Europe, and number of things which were made by, with number of tools which were made by ancient man, he these tools are now kept in the museum to know betterly for us. So this museum is situated in Europe. This museum gives us the good knowledge about ancient tools which are made by this ancient mans. You can see the picture of that museum, and side by side you can see the different tools which were made by this ancient man. Can you observe this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. See, different tools were made by the ancient man for his livelihood. In that, different tools are available. It is preserved in the museum. Number of people from the world, they are visiting this museum, and they take the knowledge of these tools from that museum. It is one of the famous museum in Europe. See now, utensils of the copper or such type of the utensils also kept in that museum. And from all these tools and different utensils, we come to know that the ancient man were started using some metals, because of these utensils are made up from metal, and this metal is copper. Okay, so all these utensils are made up from copper. Okay, do you understand, student?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Now see another use of metal there. Copper hub of the gold gun near Brussels Military Museum. It is in Brussels. There is the military museum, and see it is the ancient gun. They were use they use the copper for that gun. You can just observe this gun in the first picture. It means that since ancient time or since old age, the ancient man, old age man, he started using these metals like copper. Okay, so it is important to us to know all these things, because we should know about the different metals, how it is came into use. So keep in mind, copper were the first metal which were came into use. Okay, so different objects were also made, different uh, tools were also made from that metal. So keep in mind, again I am revising, copper were the first metal which came into use in first. Okay, now see the next. So who classify these various tools as like stone tools, that means the copper tools. Who were classified these tools, and how is classified these tools? It was too difficult to classify all these things, and what name he gave this particular age. These three questions arises in my mind. So all these metals were found there, and different tools were found, and which is now kept in museum. But how it was classified, and who classified this? Now let us see who classified this. So Christian Thompson. See, Christian Thompson were the first who started finding the different classification of these tools. See, the Christian Thompson introduced a method for classifying them. So different tools were found. They were not at one place. From different places of the world, it was found. But Christian Thompson was the first who introduced various methods for classifying these tools, and it is called as 3H system. Okay, so Thomson defined 3H system as a chronological system by seeing which artifacts occurred with which other artifacts in close finds. So keep in mind, Thomson Christian was the first. He introduced the method of classifying the 3H system. So in this way, he was the first to establish an evidence-based division. So he was not just introduced. There were the proof, that was the evidence were there. And on the basis of this evidence, he introduced this 3S system method or classifying all these tools. Okay, so keep in mind. Now, so what is the 3H system? Just see what is the 3H system. So first is Stone Age, second is Copper Age, and third is, can you tell me?
Iron Age. Iron Age.
Yes, Iron Age. So these are the 3H system: Stone Age, Copper Age, and Iron Age. Now let us see one by one. Stone Age. Just observe the first picture which is in front of you. Can you observe what is that?
Yes,
Can you
sir.
tell
Yes,
me?
sir.
Yes, just tell me.
That was the stone tools. Teacher,
Yes,
stone.
stone,
This is our stone age.
stone. Yes, stone tools are there. Just observe. Just observe it carefully. The process started with the large piece of rock. In the Stone Age, the process will start with the rock, which were available in nature. So process started with the large piece of rock. So when you were ancient man wander here and there for gathering the food and for his livelihood, when he wander here and there in the jungle, he observed some of the rocks, and from that he started the first process, and he thought how should it was used. Then he started the first process from the rock. Then what he had done, he the woman shaped the rock with the stone hammer. That means the piece of that rock, or we can say stone, he shaped the rock with the stone hammer. That means one stone just hit on the other stone, and he were started giving shape to it. After that, using the hammer, made the wood stone or the antler. They shape the edge. That means step by step he gave the shape to the stone, and he made some of the tools from the rock, or the we can say the piece of rock, that is the from stone. So you can observe in that picture. So how we come to know that? So nearby picture, that means the picture which is shown toward the right side of your on the screen. This stone which is kept in the museum in the Europe. Okay, so such type of the stones still now it is kept in the museum. The Stone Age began how when it was began that in the Stone Age, the Stone Age were began about 2.6 million years ago. It is not only 2 3 years ago. It was started in 2.6 million years ago when researchers found the earliest evidence of humans using the stone tools and lasted until about 3300 BC when the Bronze Age began. So it was too ancient when the Stone Age were started. It was near about 2.6 million years ago. Do you understand, student, about the Stone Age?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now see the next slide. Copper Age tool. See, some of the tools were still kept in the museum in the Europe and different museums in the world also. But in Europe, it is famous museum and all such type of the tools were kept in the museum. So see the different tools which were made up from the copper. See, as like the spare, see different tools are there. So copper was the first metal to came into use. Stone is not the metal, but copper is the metal, and which were the first came into use. So can you answer me? Which is the first metal came into use?
Copper. Copper.
Copper. So keep in mind. Okay. Now see the next various ancient evidence of copper. So these are the evidence, different tools, one plate, and in the third picture, what do you see?
Copper plate.
In the third picture,
Copper coins.
very good, copper coins. In the first picture, let us see some of the tools which were used for hunting. These are seen in the picture. In the second picture, copper plate is there. Nowadays also in the market, we can see different utensils available in the market. Nowadays people use such type of the such type of the utensils, and nowadays in the summer season most of the people they are using copper bottle for drinking the water. Is it right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
because yes, many of the people you can observe surrounded by us, they are using copper bottles for drinking the waters. So in the ancient period also, that means in the copper age, such type of the utensils and such type of the tools, such type of the plates and the coins from the copper were made. It is the evidence. From that evidence, Thomson classified the method, okay, of classifying the method of 3A system. So copper was first used by the man over 10,000 years ago. So when it was used, so it was used, that is the copper was used by man over 10,000 years ago. So keep in mind, copper was the only metal known to man and thus had all the metal applications. So most of the time he used such that is the copper metal to make different tools, and he used such objects for his livelihood. So do you understood, student?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Now we are going towards the next slide. Iron Age tools. See the different tools. Can you tell me from which metal it is made?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Iron.
tell me.
Iron.
Yes,
Iron
very
tools.
good. So which tools are, can you tell me their names?
Sir, there was a hammer. And
Yes,
X.
hammer is there, axe is
X.
there, spear is there. Yes, very good. So it was made up from iron. Okay. So after copper age, or after using the copper metal, so after duration of some years, ancient man found the iron and he started making the tools from that iron. So from that iron, different tools were made and he started using it. So as compared to copper, he made many more tools from that iron. Okay. Now see, nowadays also different things are made up from this metal. We had already seen that in the first slide. For building construction, many iron bars are used. For railway track, is it right? So for railway track, iron also used. So many more uses of that iron. Okay. Now see, now we are going toward the next slide. Say iron age. The iron age is the period of prehistory that came after the bronze age. Okay. It is the prehistory which were come after the bronze age. Iron age started between 1200 and 600 BC in different regions of the world. So not only in the India but different parts of the world it was started. It was started in between 1200 and 600 BC. That is before the birth of Jesus Christ. During this period, people began to formation of tools and weapons from iron and steel. So during this particular iron age, different tools and different weapons were made by the ancient man, and he used it for different purposes. Iron was tougher than the bronze. So as compared to this metal, that is the as compared to the copper and bronze, this iron is little bit tougher than this. Okay, that is why he started using this iron for making different weapons and different tools. Iron Age became capable to make sharp tools like swords and spears. So you can just see in the picture. So different swords and the spears are seen there. So why he used this iron for making weapons? So I already told that iron was the little bit tougher than the copper. Okay, that is why it was used for many purposes to making such type of the weapons and the tools. Now see the next slide, gold. So actually, when you think about this gold, actually gold was the first metal to be used. Before there, gold is soft metal. So as compared to copper and iron, gold is too much soft. So when the ancient man made some of the tools or the weapons from it, it was easily broken. And that is why after copper age, he started using the iron. But when you see the history of all these metals, gold was the first one to be in use. So the gold were not used for many purposes. So it could not be used for making tools and implements. Human then discovered the another metal which could be used for these purposes. This metal was copper. That is why copper and their uses were increased for making the different tools and the weapons. Most of the archaeological believes that most of the gold came from the mines along the Nahin River. So where did it find? So in the basins of Nile River, with some of the mines located as far as 800 miles south of the Cairo. So gold came, that means the gold were found in the mines which were situated in the basins of the Nile River. So just for your information, keep in mind gold were also used, but it was the soft metal and it is the soft metal nowadays also. That is why this metal were not used for making the weapons and the different tools. Okay. Now see the different pots. Can you observe all these pictures? Just tell me what is the pictures about? What do you see in this picture?
Teacher, sir, about the various colors and shapes.
Very good. Different colors and different shapes of the pots are seen in the picture. In the second, is it colorful second? Yes, do all these utensils. Where do we use all these utensils?
For make food. For making food.
Yes. Is it used in every house?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Is it used? Is it uses in every house? In the kitchen, different utensils are used for our daily kitchen work, for making food, for serving food. So all these utensils are used. So various colors and shapes are there now. Different non-stick pots which are also available in the market. You can see in the picture also. Okay, so see all these pots nowadays available, but in ancient times such type of the pots were not available. So how this uses of this pot started, let us see. First, when the wheels started, that means when the invention of the wheel were there. So just observe all this picture. We are going towards the how the pots were started using. That means how the ancient man were started using these pots and how he made. Just observe. Do you see this picture?
Yes, sir.
So what is this?
Wheel.
Wheels. Different shapes of the wheels are there. Is it right? Nowadays, where do we see this such type of the wheels nowadays? Can you tell me?
Last one.
Where?
Fourth one. Fourth.
But nowadays, when we going here and there by roadways or anywhere else, do you see such type of the wheels? Tire wheels for the bicycle, for the four-wheeler cars, for the different big vehicles. All such tire wheels are nowadays used. But it was too difficult for ancient man to use the first wheel in ancient time. Such type of the tire wheels or the well quality of the wheels were not in the ancient time. Okay, so how the ancient man started using this wheel and when it was invented. So this answer of that question we are going to find now. Let us see. So use of wheel in the ancient time. See in the first picture. So which from which material it is made? Can you tell me? Is it made up from metal? No, it is
No,
not
sir.
made up from metal. Actually, in ancient time, when the wheel were invented, so he
Stone.
yes, with stone. And I would like to tell before that also, some of the wheels you can observe which were in the first slide. Just first picture, see the first wheel which is made up from wood, which is made up from wood,
Wood.
and it is wood. Yes, it is not at the particular shape. It is, we can see in the round. And just I would like to tell, when the trees were cutted, or where the round shaped trees were there, when it observed by the ancient man, he thought that it is useful for different purposes. When he saw, from that he get idea. That means the ancient man got idea from that trunk of the wood when it is observed in the jungle. So he started thinking about that use of that round shaped wood. Then after Stone Age, that means in the Stone Age, such type of the wheels were made by the ancient man. Okay, in the second picture also, the wheel were made by the ancient man with the help of that stone. So why it is used and where it was used by the ancient man? So this invention of the wheel were very important in the ancient time. So due to this invention of the wheel, many more work were easy for ancient man. So you can just see in the third picture, he started using this wheel which were made up from wood for chariot and the carts. So such type of the wheels were joined two wheels with each other, and he made such type of the objects for carrying different things. You can observe this picture. Now see, after that he started using this wheel for making pots. Okay, so we observe already now different utensils are available, different pots are available, but actually after invention of the wheel, he started using this wheel for making the pots. Okay, so see how he was made the pots with the help of this wheel. The copper age was the age of many new invention and rapid changes. Actually, in the copper age, this wheel were invented. The invention of the wheel, it is most important among different inventions. So in copper age, different inventions were there. Ancient man searched many more things in copper age, and out of that, one of the very important invention were there, which were invention of the wheel. The wheel was the first used by the potters. So see, the first use of this wheel were by potters. Potter means those the person who make the pots. Okay, can you observe all these three pictures?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
let us
sir.
see how it was made. Nowadays, also some of the peoples, those are the potters, they are making pots from the mud with the help of this such type of the wheels also. But in ancient time, well shaped wheels were not there, but still he was used such wheels for making the pots. Okay, so pots made on the potter's wheel. Okay, so it was very important invention of the wheel. After that, now many more companies are there, they are making such different utensils with the help of machines. But in ancient times, such type of the machines were not available, so he used such wheels for making pots. So do you understood how it was used by the potters first time? For what purpose it was used? Can you tell me? For what purpose the wheels were used for first time by the ancient man?
For the pots.
For making the pots. Very good. For making the pots. Okay, now see. So how the structure of that pots were there? Sorry, the wheels over there. There was the particular pivot. So what is pivot? Let us see. A pointed cord pebble fixed at the bottom of the potter's wheel. Let us see the shape of the pivot. At the middle of that wheel, that pivot is there, and which were used for for the giving the motion to that wheel in circular ways. That means to just to move in round, that means in the circular motion to give the motion to that wheel in circular ways. This pivot is, we can say that it is one type of the axle, okay, for revolving this wheel. Nowadays in the wheel of the bicycle, axle is used. In the uh, in the cycle, it is used to give the speed to that wheel. But in ancient times, such type of the pivot were used to give the circular motion to that wheel. Okay, so it was became easy to the ancient man to give the shape to the pot by revolving this wheel in circular ways. So just observe what is pivot. Pivot is the pointed curved pebble fixed at the bottom of the potter's wheel. So do you understood what is pivot?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just just can you read this? What is pivot? Just one of the one, can you read?
A pointed square. A pointed square at the bottom of the wheel.
Very good. The pointed card pebble fixed at the bottom of the potter's wheel. So understood this? Okay, just keep in mind. Now let us see the next, trade and transport. So once the invention of the wheel were there, after that, when we think about the modern age, that means today, the different means of transports are available. In that, you can observe in the first picture. What do you see in that first picture?
Truck.
Yes, one of the truck is carrying some luggage which is on the road. Some of the luggage it is transported by that truck. In the second picture,
Ship.
yes, ship is there. So these are the means of transport. There is the aeroplane also. That means the airway transport is there. In the middle picture, some of the trucks, they are also carrying some luggage, or they are loading trucks. They are just transporting some of the goods from one place to another place. And towards the left corner, there is the, can you tell me? Yes, see the train. Yes, train, which is we can say that train which carries the goods from one place to another place. So what is the meaning to show all this picture to you? Because all these are the means of transport nowadays we are using, and nowadays it is become easier to us to use all these means of transport to transport different goods, different objects from one place to another place, from one state to another state, from one country to another country, by roadways, by waterways, or by airways. So within the short period of time, it is useful. But while thinking about ancient man, it was easy to him? No, it was not easy to him. Let us see how it was. Trade and transport. Once the potters began to use a wheel, once the potters began to use the wheel, it became possible to make pots in large scale. So once he started using this wheel, he made many pots within the short period of time. So not only for making the pots, he used these wheels for different purposes. For carts and carriers, he used these wheels to transport some of the things from one place to another place. Then he travel with the help of these carts and carts from one place to another place. So not for making the pots, but for different purposes, for transportation, for going from one place to another place, because there were the he was not staying at one place, so he used to travel from one place to another place with the help of that cards. Okay, and he it was became easy to him to go from one place to another place with the short period of time. So do you understood different uses of that wheel? Okay, now see the picture, another picture also. Early trade and activities. This happens mainly in those village settlements where the raw materials was easily available. So wherever ancient man started going from one place to another place, from one camp to another camp, he used such type of the cards, and he used some of the animals to pull such type of the cards. Okay, so it was easy to him to go from one place to another place, and it became easy for his settlement. Is it right? So why it was become easy? Because whenever he travel with the help of that cards from one place to another place for making different things, he carry and he carry different raw materials from one place to another place with the help of that cards. Okay, so it was easy to him to carry raw material from one place to another place, from one village to another place, another village. So the trade was goes on increasing. That means the interaction where goes on increasing, the needs where also goes on increasing. So whatsoever he wanted, he just went from another village, he just inquired in that village, and he just carry such type of the raw materials from one village to another village. So the such type of the trade and transport where goes on increasing in this way after the invention of the wheel. Now see, such village settlement expanded rapidly. Okay, so once the transportation were started, once he once he started uh, once he started trade from one village to another village, such type of the village settlement where also goes on increasing, because people from different groups, they stay at one place, they build some of the tents or the some of the little houses with the help of muds. From that he started his settlement at one place. Nowadays different urban areas you can see, different cities you can observe. So it is nothing but the started, it is nothing but the result of that the result of that settlement which were started in the ancient time. So such village settlement expanded rapidly. So do you observe this picture? Just observe. Okay, just see, it is the ancient village settlement which were made up from mud, and it is now it is not in the well condition, but it was started like that. In the second picture also little bit modern or little bit well condition village settlement is there. So in this way the such village settlement were started. Now once the village settlement were started, the trades were goes on increasing. Okay, markets were there, so people were used to go in the market for different purposes. Nowadays also we are also going in the market. Can you tell me for what purpose we are going for in the market?
For buying a vegetable
We can buy vegetables
Yes,
for our.
and
yes,
groceries.
yes, very good. For as per our needs, whatsoever we want, we just visiting to the nearby market and we purchase or we are buying some of the goods, whether it is clothes, whether it is utensils, whether it is different, means whatsoever the needs are there, we are just purchasing all these things from the market. Like that in the ancient times, once the village settlements were there, trade and transport were goes on increasing, people were also visiting such type of the market. That means as the scale of production increased, the was also expanded. So many people were became engaged in different work. So as per their skill, they made different objects, and in many quantities they made, and they just sell in the market. So see the picture, different objects you can see in the picture, different things are available in that market. So it is visible, clearly visible to you.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
very good, very good. In the first picture, can you tell me what is the picture about this? What do you see in that picture?
There was
This
a market.
is a
Yes,
muscle.
yes, very good. So such type of the objects were made by these peoples and they used to sell in the market as per their needs. So in this way, the trade where goes on increasing. See, therefore there was the need to change the old system of transport. So step by step, when it was goes on increasing trade and transport, there it was need to change this transportation system. So see, from whole this lesson, what we learn from that lesson? So just can you tell me different metals, which were the metals were used?
We have also learned the use of the metal
Yes,
like copper.
different metals like copper, iron were used by the previous man. Use of metals like copper, iron, and gold.
And we just
Information about, yes, another information we had seen about information about the museum
and
which
we
is
have
situated in
learned
the Europe. Yes,
and we have
and who
learned
all?
the
Yes,
of three metals.
yes. Christian Thompson, he introduced the three-edge system. This thing also we had learned. Now information about the three-edge system. Which were the three-edge system?
Copper is Stone Age.
Copper is stone age, copper age, iron
Very
age.
good, very good. Then after that we had learned about pots made on the potter's
Yes,
wheel. Is it right?
yes, sir.
Then once the potter begins to use the wheel, it became possible to make pots in large scale. So he started using such type of the wheels for different purposes. He used such wheels for trade and transport. Okay, do you understood this?
Yes.
Very good. Now see, I would like to ask some question to you. In the so before evaluation part, I would like to show all these slides again, because of it is the revision for you. Just see again all these slides so that you will be clearly understood what we had learned in that lesson. So we started from these different metals. Just observe it fastly, okay? We observe, we learn that about the different tools which were made up by different metals. Then we learn that the use of such copper for making different tools. Then we learn about, just see with the help of this picture, why I revise this, because with the help of picture it will be clearly understood to you, and it is long, it will be useful to you for keeping in the mind. So just see, all these tools and the weapons were made by ancient man, and which is now kept in the museum for to get the knowledge. Okay, now see different utensils were also made up from that copper. Then see different ancient guns were there. For that gun, the copper were used. Then we learned about the Christian Thompson who introduced the 3S system method and classification of the different tools. Then we learn about the 3S system, that is the Stone Age, Copper Age, and Iron Age. Then different stone tools we observe different how he started giving the shape to the stone. With the help of stone, he make different tools. And in nearby picture, we saw that such stone is now also kept in the museum. Different tools were made up from the copper. Then different different utensils of the copper, coins from the copper, which were made by the ancient man. It is the evidence proof for us. From that evidence, we came to know that ancient man used all this copper for making different things. Then we learn about the iron. Different tools were made by the ancient man for making such type of the tools for his daily use. Now we learn about all this iron age, and I also told that copper were the gold were the metal, but it was the too soft. That is why he not use this gold for making many tools. Then we learn about the different pots, how the pot wheels were invented. This thing we had learned. Then use of the wheel, invention of the wheel. It was, and also one more thing we learn how the ancient man used wheel for making the pots with the help of that wheel. Then we learn what is fuel. Okay, so means of transport we had learned. Nowadays many different type of means of transports are available, but it was not available in the ancient times. So ancient man used such type of the wheels and also such type of the carts for transporting things from one place to another place. And because of that invention of the wheel, trade and transport was goes on increasing. After that, village settlement was started due to the increasing the use of transportation system. Then we learned that the trade was goes on increasing as per the needs. People started using uh, people used to go for the buying such type different type of the objects from the market. That is why trade was goes on increasing. So after that, I would like to ask some question. Let us give me the answer of this question. Which is the most important invention of copper age? Can you tell me? Which is the most important invention of the copper age?
Copper coins.
But before that, which were the very important invention? Very important invention. The
Copper
most
tools.
Copper age
Copper
was
tools.
the copper age was the age of many new invention and rapid change.
but out of different than that, very important invention were there. The invention of wheel. It was invented in the copper age only. Invention of the wheel. Okay. So keep in mind, invention of the wheel was the important invention in the copper age. Now, second question: which period is called as copper age? Which period is called as copper age? The period when the copper came into use is known as copper age. So do you understood? The period when the copper came into use is known as copper age. What are the uses of metal? Can you tell me? What are the uses of metal?
To making
Yes.
tools, plates, coins,
Very good. To making
utensils.
Yes, making plates, making coins, making
Tools.
different tools. Yes, very good, very good. Now, the next question. Just tell me, name the method used by Christian Thompson to classify prehistoric artifacts and the antique objects.
A
Name the
scholar,
method.
a scholar Christian Thompson introduced a method for classifying them. It is called the three age that are copper age, stone age, and iron age.
Very good, very good, very good. So
First is
the
stone
next
age,
question,
stone tool.
which belief emerged due to the Thompson's finding? Which beliefs emerged due to the Thompson finding? Can you tell me?
Three ages: stone age, copper age,
Yes,
and iron age.
Thoms.
Stone tools, copper
Okay.
and tools.
So question was like is like that. Which beliefs emerged due to the Thompson's finding? So see the answer. Thompson's finding lead to the belief that copper was the first metal to came into use.
Use.
Okay. In which village settlement did the industrial area emerge? So the industrial area emerged in those village settlement where the raw material was easily available. Raw material easily available in that the village settlement were started. Now see some of the fill in the blanks are also there. Just give me the first answer. Dash introduced the method for classifying prehistoric artifacts and the antique objects.
Copper. Copper age. Copper age.
No, tell me the person who introduced this.
Christian Thompson.
Very
Thompson.
good,
Christian
Christian
Thompson.
Thompson. Yes. Second, the Dash age was the age of many invention and rapid changes.
Copper.
Which is very good, copper age.
Copper
Third,
age.
it is generally agreed that the wheel was first used by Dash. Who used this?
Potters. Potters.
Very good, potters. Yes, very good. Now, the skilled craftsmen had their settlement and center of production in the Dash area of the village, the industrial area. Okay. Now the fifth, the village settlement with the Dash expanded rapidly. Industrial area. Okay. So now see we have small homework to you. Little bit homework. Write the short notes on the following: use of metal, then copper age, iron age, and write about the pottery in the copper age. So you have to write the short notes on these 4 points: uses of metal, copper age, iron age, and write about the pottery in the copper age. So you will write.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So after all, it is time to wind up our lesson. So thank you, students, for listening all these things, and it is the revision part. So thank you once again to all the students. Okay. So bye, students.
Bye, sir. Bye, sir.